I was terrified. Hey, quick question. When was the last time you had a real conversation in English?
Like a real one, not just yes and okay and thank you.
A real back and forth conversation where you actually said something.
If you're thinking right now, I'm not sure, this episode is for you.
Because today we have 3 real-life dialogues, and you are going to practice them today.
Not tomorrow, today.
Let's go. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Martin.
And I'm Kate. Hi, hello, welcome to the podcast.
Day 28 of the 30-Day English Speaking Challenge. Day 28.
Martin, I cannot believe it. 2 more days after this.
2 more days. Kate, how are you feeling?
Honestly, a little emotional. Is that weird?
Not weird at all. We've been doing this every day for 28 days.
Every single day. And you, our listeners, you've been here with us. That means everything.
It really does. Okay, if you are new here, welcome. You picked a great day to find us.
The best day, actually, because today's episode is super practical.
Very practical. Real conversations, real English, real life.
Before we start, if you're on YouTube, please hit the like button.
It takes 1 second and it helps us so much.
And subscribe. 2 more days left in the challenge. You don't want to miss day 29 or day 30.
Definitely not. Okay, Kate, today's topic. Tell them.
Today, we have 3 real-life dialogues to practice, 3 situations that happen in everyday life, and we're going to act them out right here, right now.
Kate and I are going to actually do the dialogues together.
Live, on air, no script. Well, maybe a little script.
Just a little. But the point is, you can hear how real English sounds in real situations.
And then you practice it yourself. Repeat it, try it, make it your own.
That's the goal today. Let's do it. Okay, so Kate, let's talk about why dialogues are so important. Because some people say, I study English every day, I know the words, but when I need to speak, nothing comes out.
Oh, yes, this is real. This is so real.
Why does that happen?
Okay, so here's the thing. Knowing words is one thing, but using words in a real conversation, that's a different skill.
A completely different skill.
Like, imagine you know how to swim in your head. You've read about it, you've watched videos, but you've never actually been in the water.
And then someone throws you in the pool.
Exactly. You're like, wait, I know this, I read about this.
But your body doesn't know it yet.
Your body doesn't know it, and it's the same with speaking English. Your brain knows the words, but your mouth hasn't practiced yet.
So dialogues are like practice in the water before the real swim.
Perfect way to say it, Martin. Yes, practice in the water.
So today, we get in the water.
We get in the water, together, all of us.
All right, dialogue number 1. This is a very common situation. Are you ready, Kate?
I'm ready. What's the situation?
You are at a coffee shop and the order goes wrong.
Oh no, I hate when that happens in real life.
It happens all the time, and most people don't know what to say. They just accept the wrong order, they drink the wrong coffee, and they're sad.
Sad coffee. Nobody wants sad coffee.
Nobody. So let's fix that. Kate, you are the customer. I am the cafe worker, okay?
Got it. Let's go.
In character. Hi, here's your order. 1 large cappuccino.
Oh, sorry. I think this might be wrong. I ordered a small latte, not a cappuccino.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Let me check. You're right. I'm sorry. I'll make you a new one right away.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. No rush.
It'll be ready in 2 minutes. Really sorry again.
No problem at all. Thank you.
In character. And scene.
Oh, that was smooth. Martin, you were a very apologetic cafe worker.
I really felt bad about the cappuccino, genuinely.
Okay, but listeners, did you catch the key phrases there?
Yes, let's look at those. Kate, what were the important ones?
So the first one, I think this might be wrong, not This is wrong. Not angry, just calm and polite. I think this might be wrong.
Very soft, very polite, but clear.
Then, I ordered a small latte. Simple, just say what you ordered.
And the really important one, I really appreciate it. No rush.
Yes, no rush. This is such a natural English phrase. It means take your time, don't worry.
And it makes the conversation friendly, even when something went wrong.
Even when something went wrong, because you're not angry, you're just fixing the problem.
Okay, listeners, repeat those phrases out loud right now, seriously. Pause the video if you need to.
Say them. I think this might be wrong. I really appreciate it. No rush.
Say them until they feel natural. That's how you own a phrase.
That's how you own it. Good. Okay, dialogue number 2.
Dialogue number 2. Kate, this one is very everyday, very common.
I'm already nervous.
Don't be nervous. Okay, the situation, you meet someone new at a party or a work event or a class, somewhere new, and you have to start a conversation.
Oh, the small talk situation.
The small talk situation, which is terrifying for so many people.
Martin, can I be honest? Even in my first language, small talk is hard sometimes.
Really?
Yes, because you think, what do I say? Will they like me? Is this weird?
So in English, it's even more pressure.
So much more pressure. But here's the secret. Small talk is actually very simple. The words are simple, the structure is simple.
Let's show them. I'll be the new person. You start the conversation.
Okay, here we go. Take a breath. Hey, I don't think we've met. I'm Kate.
Oh, hi. I'm Martin. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. So, how do you know the host?
Oh, we work together. We've been friends for about 3 years. What about you?
Oh, nice. I actually went to university with her. We were in the same class.
Oh, wow. Really? That's cool. Are you from here originally?
No, actually, I'm from a small town in the north. I moved here about 2 years ago. You?
I'm from here, yeah. Born and raised. I've never left.
That's so funny. I always wanted to move to a big city. Best decision I ever made.
And scene. Kate, that was great.
Was it? I felt like I was at a real party just now.
You sounded totally natural. Okay, listeners, let's talk about what Kate did really well there.
Oh, okay. So the first thing, she introduced herself first. She didn't wait. She just said, I don't think we've met. I'm Kate.
Taking the first step, that's brave, but it works.
It always works because the other person is usually relieved. They were also nervous.
Everyone is nervous. We're all nervous together.
Exactly. Then the questions. How do you know the host? Are you from here originally? Simple questions, but they open the door.
They keep the conversation moving.
And the most important thing, when Martin said something about himself, I responded to it. I didn't just move to the next question.
You said, I always wanted to move to a big city. You shared something too.
Yes, conversation is a two-way street. You ask, you answer, you share, you ask again.
Back and forth, like a tennis match.
Like a tennis match. I love that.
You're not just interviewing the person, you're talking with them.
Talking with them, not at them. Big difference.
Huge difference. Okay, let's do dialogue number 3.
Okay. What's the situation?
Dialogue number 3. This one, Kate, is one that English learners tell us is very scary.
Uh-oh, what is it?
Calling someone on the phone in English.
Oh, yes, this is scary.
Right? Even for intermediate learners. Calling someone on the phone, no face, no expressions, only voice, is really hard.
Because you can't see their face. You don't know if they understand you. You don't know what they're feeling.
And if you miss something, you have to ask them to repeat, which feels embarrassing.
It doesn't have to feel embarrassing, and today we're going to prove that.
Let's do a simple phone call. You are calling a restaurant. You want to make a reservation.
Okay, simple enough. Let me try. Ring!
Did you just make a phone ringing sound?
I did. I really committed to it.
Hello, thank you for calling Green Garden Restaurant. How can I help you?
Hi, I'd like to make a reservation, please, for this Saturday.
Of course. And how many people will be dining?
There will be 4 of us.
Perfect. And what time would you prefer?
Is 7 o'clock available?
Let me check. Yes, 7 o'clock works perfectly. Can I take a name for the reservation?
Yes, it's Kate. Kate.
Great, Kate. So that's a table for 4 this Saturday at 7. Is that correct?
Yes, that's perfect. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. We'll see you Saturday. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.
Perfect. Kate, you're a phone call pro.
Thank you. Honestly, I was nervous even doing that for practice. Imagine doing it in real life.
But you know what? It's really not that different from what we just did.
No, it's not. And that's the thing. Phone calls at restaurants or booking appointments or calling customer service, they follow a pattern.
They always follow a pattern. The person answers, they ask how they can help, you say what you need, they ask for details, you give details, they confirm, you say thank you, done.
Done. It's a formula. And once you know the formula, it's not scary anymore.
The key phrases from that one, I'd like to make a reservation, please. Very polite, very clear.
Is 7 o'clock available? Asking if something is possible. Great phrase for many situations.
And at the end, when he repeated everything back, so that's a table for 4 this Saturday at 7. Is that correct?
That's actually really helpful. Always listen to that confirmation. Always make sure it's right before you say goodbye.
Because if something is wrong, fix it there. Don't show up at the wrong time.
Yes, please. Don't show up at the wrong time.
Okay, Kate, let's talk about something. A lot of English learners practice these dialogues alone, at home, and they sound great alone at home, but then in real life, it falls apart.
Yes, why does that happen?
Because real conversations don't follow the script exactly. People go off in different directions.
They say something unexpected. They use a phrase you don't know, and your brain just stops.
Freezes. So what do?
Okay, so this is my #1 tip for real-life conversations. Are you ready?
Ready.
Buy yourself time. Learn phrases that give you a few extra seconds to think.
Oh, this is gold. Tell them the phrases.
Okay, so that's a good question. Very classic.
Works every time. Let me think about that for a second. So what you're saying is, and then you repeat what they said to confirm. That one is brilliant, actually. Repeating back what someone said.
Because it shows you're listening, it gives you time to think, and it makes sure you understood correctly.
3 things in one move.
3 things. Also, sorry, could you say that again? Or, sorry, I didn't catch that.
Not, what? Just, sorry, could you say that again? Much more polite, much more natural.
And nobody is offended by that. Ever. People say that all the time, even native speakers.
Even native speakers say, sorry, I didn't catch that, all the time.
So don't be embarrassed. Just say it.
Say it. Own it. Move on.
Move on. Keep the conversation going.
Okay, I want to do something fun. Kate, let's give our listeners a little challenge within the challenge.
Ooh, a challenge within a challenge. Double challenge.
Exactly. So here's what I want you to do, listeners. Take one of the 3 dialogues we did today.
Just one. Pick your favorite.
The coffee shop, the party small talk, the phone call reservation. Pick one.
And practice it out loud right now, or tonight, or tomorrow morning.
Say both parts. Be both people. It sounds a little silly, but it works.
It really works because you're hearing both sides of the conversation. You understand the whole flow.
And if you want to be brave, find a friend, a classmate, a family member, and do it together.
It doesn't have to be perfect. It can be funny, it can be messy.
Messy is fine. Messy is learning.
I love that. Messy is learning. That's going on a t-shirt.
We should make t-shirts.
Messy is learning. Coming soon to the merch store.
Okay. But seriously, try the dialogue. Even once, even badly, it counts.
It always counts.
All right, our comment question for today. Kate, do you want to ask it?
I would love to. Okay, listeners, this is the question. Which of these 3 situations is the hardest for you personally? The coffee shop, the party small talk, or the phone call?
And tell us why. 1 or 2 sentences.
We really want to know because we read every single comment, every one.
We do, so write it down there. Which one is hardest and why?
And if you have a funny story about a real-life English conversation that went wrong, share that too. We love those stories.
Those are the best ones, the disaster stories.
Disaster stories are the best because we've all been there.
We have all been there, so write it in the comments. We're waiting. Okay, day 28, done. Kate, I need a moment.
Take your moment, Martin.
Okay, so 2 more days.
2 more days of this challenge.
When we started day 1, did you think we'd make it to day 28?
Honestly, I knew we would make it. I wasn't sure everyone else would, but they did.
They did. If you were watching this, you made it to day 28.
That's 28 days of showing up, 28 days of trying, 28 days of choosing to get better.
That's not small, that's huge.
That's actually huge, and I want you to really hear that. Not just listen, really hear it.
You chose to do this. Nobody forced you. You decided, I want to speak better English, and you showed up.
Day after day.
Day after day. That's character. That's discipline. That's growth.
And your English? Oh, your English is better than it was on day 1. I promise you that.
Even if you can't feel it yet, it's happening. Trust the process.
Trust the process. 2 more days. Let's finish strong.
Okay, everyone, thank you so much for being here today. Day 28, Real-Life Dialogues.
Practice those dialogues. Seriously, do it today.
The coffee shop order, the small talk at a party, the phone call reservation.
Simple situations, real English, real practice.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to the channel. We are finishing this challenge strong. Day 29 and day 30 are coming.
And share this episode with someone who is learning English. You could be the reason they start their own challenge.
That would be amazing.
That would be so amazing.
Okay, see you tomorrow for day 29. Take care, everyone.
Bye. Keep talking, keep trying, keep going. You've got this.
You've got this. Bye-bye.